Wonder Girl, and I am here to give you your weekly forecast for the week of Monday, June 5th to Sunday, June 11th. Now last week, what we were doing is we were making a lot of changes in our life and a lot of hard decisions. Perhaps a lot of those changes had to do with our daily routines in some way and how we were expanding our life, being really busy as we were expanding our life, maybe trying to change more of what we do on the day-to-day so that we can incorporate more of this new person, life, adventure thing we want to integrate into who it is that we really are. As we were doing that, we also had to make some hard choices, I would say, about where our life is going, about our goals and dreams for the future, about the people that we can interact with, and who it is that was meant for us, what it is that's meant for us, in order for us to really create a life that we're happier with, that brings more joy and more passion to us, okay? And so we're still coming into, this kind of thing in our life where we finished making those choices, doing that, it's time to move forward. And I think at the end of last week, we started to experience, okay, things are starting to pick up, things are starting to catch their groove, they're starting to move forward. A lot of that for you is moving forward on something that's close to your heart, on you and what you want, okay? The North Node just moved into Leo, which is your first house, meaning that this next year and a half is all about you and what you want and what's important to you. And so that's a major thing that you're focusing on. And as we move into this week, I think you're slowly starting to realize that things are starting to work out more and more for your favor, that you have a lot of things supporting this new identity that you want to be and you want to focus on, it's easier for you to do what it is that that makes you happy, to expand more of what makes you happy, either through adventure, travel, study, that kind of thing, and bring more of what it is that you want to you, okay? So we're going into this week with that kind of feeling, but I get the sense that it may not be the easiest for us to get on board with, where we're still kind of unsure. We sense that things are changing and things are getting better in some way, but we don't really know if it's gonna last. And so this week, what we have to do is we have to adjust our perspective to understand that things are changing, things are different, and we need to get on board with where it is that things are going. Now, a lot for you is going to be this week in getting right with yourself deep inside, finding out what it is that makes you happy, what it is that brings you peace, having to maybe deal with some emotions internally about what is going on with you. That is because Mars just moved into Cancer, or is about to move into Cancer this week, which is in your 12th house. The 12th house rules a lot of subconscious things and stuff that comes up perhaps from deep below the surface of our inner psyche that we then have to deal with and understand better and move forward. And that's going to be a big thing for you as we move into the rest of this month, because more planets are going to move into Cancer, which is your 12th house, really asking you to get right with who you are on the inside, with what it is that you really want and feel, so that you can get rid of all this old baggage from the past that you no longer need and step into this new identity around your birthday month, which is who you need to be and where your life is going at this time. As that is happening, we do have Mercury that just moved into Gemini, or is going to move into Gemini this week, which is going to bring more focus to you and more communication, I would say, with others about your hopes and dreams, about your goals for the future, about the life you want to create and where things are going. Also, perhaps about groups of people you're associating with and really having to communicate with them about things that are going on in your life, about the things that you really want and resonate with you and that you dream of for the future. Things are also going to start to get a little bit easier and better for you, I would say, in your career in some way. Perhaps because Venus is moving into Taurus in your 10th house, really helping things run a lot more smoothly in career in some ways, to figure out where your life is going. If it's not career, then perhaps it could help you kind of just make the big plans that you want to make to move forward in life. Because Venus loves being in Taurus. It is a good kind of sign and aspect. The only problem with this Venus in Taurus is that it does square your Leo sun, so it may be a little hard for you to figure out, okay, things are starting to go really smoothly in my career, things are starting to pick up in some way in my life direction. How do I bring this more on board with my identity in some way? How do I identify more with my life direction, where my life is going? That you may kind of have to work out as you move forward into these next few weeks. Other good things that are happening for you is in your 3rd house of communication. Communication should get a lot easier for you, especially with people around town. Also maybe a little easier for you to work things out in your mind about where your life is going, which is very, very good, as you also have a lot of things in the 12th house, which can be a little hard. So I see this aspect kind of balancing perhaps some of the difficulty out a little bit when it comes to getting things in the right perspective. And that's because Jupiter in your 3rd house, which has been retrograde for the past few months and has been really under stress a lot by how you want to expand your life is about to turn on. You know, where maybe the past few months you've really been focusing on what can I do new or different to make myself happy, and I think in the past few months you've kind of worked some of that stuff out where now you can focus on people close to home and talking to people close to home about what it is that's been going on in a way that's more supportive and caring and loving, and that helps you kind of move forward in a more diplomatic way. Neptune in your 8th house is also stationing, about to go retrograde, which makes us also a little bit more realistic about money, about your finances, about what's happening there. Perhaps a little bit easier to put things into place in a more practical way, no longer being really dreamy about your finances or having all these illusions about money, but being able to see kind of your financial situation for what it really is. Also your situations, deep and intimate relationships, you may get some more clarity on that, some more insights on how it is that you can, you know, move forward in a romantic relation or in deep intimate relationships. Doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, can also be kind of a relationship based on a contract in a way that is more solid and more stable moving forward. So that's what I see for you this week. Definitely lots of communication going on about your goals too, especially since the sun is in your 11th where Mercury is, being just a major focus of this week as you move forward. Now your card for this week is the Knight of Cups reversed. Okay, now this card is an interesting card. I do see a lot of good things happening for the Leos in a lot of big ways, because I mentioned last week we've got a lot of fire, we've got a lot of air coming in here, which works really, really well with your sun sign, especially since you've got the nodes that are moving in there as well. But the Knight of Cups does indicate perhaps some rose-colored glasses going on about your life, about where things are coming. That's maybe a positive, you know, a more positive way of looking at it, where maybe you're too idealistic about some things and you need to be more realistic in a lot of ways. So the Knight of Cups can indicate that. Don't get too carried away with all your big dreams and visions and plans. You need to focus on the details and on what's happening here. There could also be some confusion that comes in with the Knight of Cups, maybe some worry, some overwhelming feelings that you have about where things are going. And the Knight of Cups is also just a reminder to, if that's the case and you get overly emotional about things, to just be practical, okay? To keep everything in balance, to focus on what it is that you can do, and to not get too optimistic, to not get too depressed, to just realize that like things are changing. They're changing in a very good way where you're going to be able to incorporate more of what makes you happy in your daily life, and you have to take the steps to do it. You have to move forward, you have to communicate about it, and everything will fall into place just fine. So that is all I have for you this week. Thank you so much for watching your horoscope. If you liked it, please like it on Facebook, please like it on YouTube, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.